Good evening, everyone. This is a conference meeting of the City Council of the City of Orange Township held via audio video conferencing Tuesday, May 7th, 2024 at 7:07 p.m. Roll call. Councilmember Coley.
Councilmember Kohler will be absent tonight.
Councilmember Hilbert.
Present.
Councilmember Montague III.
Present.
Councilmember Ross.
Present.
Councilmember Summers Johnson. She's here. She just has to unmute herself.
I'm sorry. I'm present. I did the camera. But okay. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
All right. Councilmember Wooten.
She'll be late.
Late? Okay. And Council President Eason.
Here.
Okay, also present is Joyce Lanier, the city clerk, Chris M. Hartwick, the business administrator, Director Best.
She will not be on this evening.
Chief Brown. I think I see him. Chief Brown is here. CFO Clements.
Present.
Vincent D. Filippo, Health Officer.
Here.
Thank you. Qualifiera Tax Collector. Here. Marty Bates, Public Works Director.
He will not be on this evening. He's away.
Okay. Gracia R. Montillis, City Attorney. Their representative from the Law Department.
I saw.
I'm here. Aaron is right.
Okay, thank you. Chris Murray, Tax Assessor.
I'm here, Joyce.
Wendy Sykes, Director of Community Service. Absent. Marlon G. Towns, Legislative Research Officer.
Present.
Vincent Vidiello, Police Chief.
Present.
Here. Marguerite Homier. I think she's here. And Tricipio, Clerk's Office. Let's have a moment of silence.
Would we dedicated this moment of silence to the Honorable Congressman Donald Payne and his family, and also Superior Court Judge Harold Fulilove. Right. Let's pray for their families.
Harold Fulilove Sr. Just want to be sure.
I'm sorry, Senior. Yes. Amen.
Amen.
Please be apprised anyone wishing to discuss agenda or general items shall email their statements or questions to citizencomments@orangenj.gov no later than 7 p.m. the day prior to the scheduled public meeting. The City Council reserves the right to respond or not respond during the meeting to any citizen submissions. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 the Sunshine Law has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, published in the record transcript on July 13, 2023, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. So for our first matter of discussion, we have our health update by Health Officer Vincent D. Filippo.
Good evening, everyone. COVID is low throughout the whole state of New Jersey. We're fortunate Essex County has 2% people that had COVID and 3% in the emergency room. That's per 100,000. And that's basically it, just to give you, tick season is here. Just watch yourself. You don't have to go into the woods to get ticks. You could be in your backyard. So the thing is to avoid that in your backyard. Just try to keep your grass low. And also the other thing that just came up that everybody's, the new thing that CDC is worrying about is the bird flu. They found it in the cows. They also found it in cats. So, they destroyed a couple of cows because of processing through the milk and stuff like that, so. And, that's it, we're very fortunate so far, we haven't had any cases in the state of New Jersey. Is there any questions anybody wants to ask me?
Any questions for our health officer?
Yeah, I just have a real quick question, Council President. Vinny, how you doing?
Good, Councilman.
You were talking about the milk.
Yes.
When that milk is pasteurized, shouldn't that get rid of any of that bacteria and stuff that could cause you to be sick or anything?
It should, but they're not letting it get that far.
Uh-huh.
So they found that they had traces of it in cows, they traced it in the milk, and they also traced it in some of the fertile cats. And they were worrying about if it's going to go into like dogs or anything like that, but they stopped so far just with the cats.
Okay.
Don't forget, the bird flu is almost like COVID, like the droplets.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stay further away, cover yourself up, you know. And the best way, the way CDC is saying, get vaccinated for the flu.
Gotcha.
You know? But that's basically it. And just go ahead. I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
I was gonna move on to something else. What are we doing, or any new information on the lantern flies?
Believe it or not, we applied for a grant. We got the grant, and we're just waiting to start on it. The bids are going out for it. It's a real minimal amount, but it'll serve the purpose for us for now. I haven't seen any yet. You know, if they're out there, if we get some of the calls, we'll start having hopefully one of the vendors that we picked to go out there and spray.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, when does the season actually start?
I'd be lying to you. I really don't recall.
Okay. All right.
But we were fortunate that it's a minimal amount of grant that we got, but it's better than we didn't have anything at all last year. So it's a 3-year grant. So,
okay.
And just before I forget, we were very fortunate. We're doing a baby shower for our community. Believe it or not, Dawn did a real good job, and we're very, very fortunate with the donations that we received, not just in our community, outside of our community. And as far as 45 minutes away, people have been donating stuff to the baby shower. So it should be a good turnout. So that's this Saturday from 10 to 3 at the military park. That's it. Thank you.
Council President? Are there any other updates? If not, the resolution. Okay.
We'll move on.
We'll move on. Okay, the resolutions and ordinance to be presented at tonight's meeting are listed on the attached regular meeting agenda. If any council member wishes to discuss any resolution or ordinance, it may do so at this time.
Does any council member has any ordinance or resolution they'd like to discuss at this time? I think Wendy, Director Sykes just joined us. You see her, Trish?
Yes, ma'am. I'm marked at 7:17 p.m.
Please move the agenda.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn, Ross.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion to adjourn by Council Member Ross, second by Council Member Eason. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This meeting is adjourned at 7:17 p.m. This is a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Orange Township held via audio video conferencing on Tuesday, May 7th, 2024, following the conference meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'm going to ask Councilwoman Hibbert to lead us in the pledge tonight.
I'll do it, Council President. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Let's see. So there are no approval of minutes.
No,
Then
we
the roll
do the
call.
roll call. Gotta do the
Oh.
roll.
Okay, roll call. Councilmember Coley,
Absent.
absent. Councilmember Hilbert, absent.
She's here. I'm trying to ask her to unmute.
Okay, present. Councilmember Montague Third,
Present.
Councilmember Ross,
President.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Present.
Councilmember Wooten, absent. And Council President Easy.
Here.
Also present is Joyce Lanier. Tamara is absent. DA Hartwick is present. Director Betts,
She's present.
present. Chief Brown, I believe, is present.
Present.
Al Clements is present. Vincent DiFilippo is present. Paula Fiera is present. Marty Bays, Public Works.
Absent.
Rossi R. Montilla, City Attorney.
Absent.
Is there a representative, Aaron? Ms. Rozzi?
I'm here.
Okay. Chris Murray, Tax Assessor.
I'm here, Joyce.
Wendy Sites, Director of Community Service. Absent.
No, she came in. Director Spice.
Yeah, she's present.
She need to say it. Come back to her. Marlon G. Towns.
Present.
Vincent Vidiello, Police Chief.
Present.
Okay, Marguerite Homer is here and Trisipio. Director Sites. Is she on mute, Trish?
We're trying to work that out. That's all I was saying. She is definitely on the call. So.
She can just chime in a little later when she get her audio together. The requirements of NJSA 10:4-9 exec the Sunshine Law has been met. A notice of this meeting was sent to the Star Ledger, published in the record transcript on July 13, 2023, posted on the bulletin board in City Hall, the council's website, the city's website, and filed in the office of the city clerk. There are no minutes to be approved. There are no reports from revenue collection. There are no Oprah reports, council reports.
Okay. Now we're gonna start with the.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, got you. Police Chief Fidiella?
Yes, that's the first I heard you call my name. Hello, everyone. Not much to report today. I attended the 200 Club, which is the Valor Awards given to officers who go above and beyond the call of duty. And I'd like to inform you guys that Sergeant Kajiga and Detective Way were the recipients of an award which they received for apprehending an armed suspect who then dragged them with the vehicle, and they arrested this individual without any incident after that. So kudos to those guys in getting this armed felon and dangerous felon off the street. I also, May 2nd, we made a couple of arrests. We put together a little task force because we had, again, as you know, we had many car thefts. So in the course of our investigation, we arrested 2 individuals that are known for this activity. So we saw a decrease in car thefts during the time we had this operation in effect. and we did make an arrest. Also, under the LISO program, that's a law enforcement program that we bid on certain items for free, of course, from the federal government, and we did get a World Star 7400 35-foot command center, which I'll go over with you guys at a later date, that we're going to use for many functions as a command center, city events, OEM operations, community service events, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be multitask, but under the provisions of the government, permission needs to be requested from the police department for use of this vehicle. But other than that, questions. Always like the questions.
Any questions for our police chief? If not, our fire director.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, all council members. Want to talk about the JPSA, the Junior Public Safety Academy with police and fire. That's coming up right now. Applications are available Monday through Friday between the hours of 9 and 4, second floor of the firehouse, or we can actually email them to you at the same time. Email address is dbrown@orangenj.gov. Applications are available up until May 31st by end of day, which is 4 o'clock. I have no incidents to report, but there is any questions, please.
Any
Council President.
For Fire Chief Councilman Ross.
Yeah. Chief Brown, how are you?
I'm good, Councilman. How are you?
I'm good. How many applicants are you taking for the camp?
We're looking to have 30 cadets in the camp this year.
30, okay.
Yes.
And what is the actual start date?
The actual start date of the camp will be July 8th through August 2nd.
And is there a course?
No,
Great.
there's no cost.
So the 30 first come, first served basis.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Councilman.
Any other questions for our fire director? Thank you. We're gonna move on to Director Best.
Director Best is absent this evening.
Ms. Paula Fiera.
Good evening, everyone. We're collecting for second quarter taxes. The last day to pay is Friday, May 10th. That's it from the tax office.
Thank you. Chris Norrie, our tax assessor.
Good evening, Council President. I have nothing to report on. All is quiet on the Western Front. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you. Our Director Sykes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay, great. I'm having trouble with my video too. I apologize. I'll be brief. Just wanted to inform everyone, and good evening, everyone. Just wanted to inform you that on Wednesday, May 22nd, the Older Adults Office will have a workshop for the seniors, and the topic is Medicare updates. So any questions that you may have with regards to your Medicare, please come out. We have someone there that's very knowledgeable that will be able to assist you. It's at the Upper Field House, 234 Lincoln Avenue, 11 to 12. And that's May 22nd. If you need transportation, please call Older Adults Office and we will pick you up. The number is 973-952-6118. Also, the seniors will be going to the Columbus Flea Market again on May 23rd. That will be from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. and pickup starts at 8:45. You must pre-register, so please, again, call the Older Adults Office. We are hiring for the summertime, so if you are interested in, if you are 16 and above, you are interested in a summer job, we are hiring. Please pick up an application from City Hall, Human Services, second floor. And that's it for the evening, unless there are any questions.
Council President. Who's that? Who's that? James Summers. Councilwoman Summers.
It's echoing. It's echoing.
Councilwoman Johnson.
Okay. Does someone need to mute because is it echoing still? Or are we okay?
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay. Director Sykes, I was just gonna announce about the championship game for Saturday. You want me to say the times and things for Saturday?
Can you hear me? Am I muted still?
No, we
No.
can hear you. No, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yes, please, by all
Okay.
means. Thank you so
All
much.
right. So we need the Orange community to come out this Saturday to Orange High School to see our wonderful youth, our girls and boys. At 9 a.m. there's a 4th and 5th grade championship game. At 10 o'clock there'll be a cheerleading explosion. The elementary schools that have cheerleading teams will be performing, and then at 11 o'clock there will be a 7th and 8th grade championship game. This is a wonderful time to come out. There's always going to be a kid there with no one, and it would be awesome to have you come out and cheer for them. At a time when they say there are no programs, you will see a gym filled with families and parents and the community, and we just want to make sure you're there. So this is enough notice to get you there. 9 a.m. everything starts, and it should be over about 1:30, somewhere around there. So if you can't make it to the beginning, just the beginning. That's it. Thank you.
Director Sykes.
And it's at OPA. Yes.
Is it OPA? Where's the location? Which location is it? Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
It's OPA.
Oh, it's at Orange Preparatory Academy. It's at our middle school, not Orange High School, the middle school.
Yes.
Director Sykes, for the Medicare, can we do a robocall? Because in light of the changes, I think we need to make sure that every senior know they can come out and ask questions, because a lot of people is going to be impacted by the new changes.
My phone keeps muting me. Can you hear me?
Yes, it can.
Okay. Yes, we can do a robocall for the Medicare.
Please do, but do it in advance of the meeting, like 2 or 3 days before.
Yes, we'll get that out.
Okay, thank you.
Council President, I'm sorry. And it says Orange High School.
Say that again.
I'm reading from the recreation email, and it says Orange High School Gymnasium. I'm reading directly from the email that Trish sent out to confirm that everyone will be there.
So it's at the high school.
Yeah, I just don't want you on the wrong place. But
Right.
you'll know when you don't see any cars there. But it's at the high school.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you for that clarification.
No problem.
Okay. CFO now premise.
There we go. Thank you, Council President. Good evening, Orange. We have quite a few items on the agenda tonight. We have 2 ordinances and 3 resolutions, including the bill list. The 2 ordinances deal with the budget. One ordinance deals with the budget, the other deals with reappropriating money from capital improvement fund and capital surplus. They're both on second reading. We have a resolution authorizing us to go out to the market to sell some notes in the amount of $12 million. And then we also have a resolution on the agenda tonight to add the summer food service program to the budget via temp budget resolution. And I just want to give an update on the budget. We said that we would introduce it this May. As you know, we had an ordinance on the agenda to refinance some bonds. That ordinance went before the local finance board. It was approved, but we will not be moving forward with it because they wanted to put some restrictions on the city, and we don't have any state interference in our budget. We're going to keep it that way. So with that being said, we'll be back next month. We'll go back to the drawing board, recalibrate a little bit, and present the budget for introduction in June. That's all I have, Council President, but I'll take any questions at this time.
Council President? CFO? Yes, Councilwoman Jameson.
Hi, Mr. Clemmings. Can you please explain 14/2024?
Sure. Ordinance 14.
Look in English.
Yeah.
Because you know you talk those accounting terms just as plain as you can do it.
Absolutely. So
Thank you.
Ordinance 14-2024 does two things. One, it increases our appropriations cap from 2.5% to 3.5%, which comes out to $695,000. And then the second part of that ordinance is establishing a cap bank. So if we don't spend, say, that whole 3.5%, say if we spend 3%, then that half a percentage will be banked and we'd be able to use it in a future year for a future year's budget. Is that good, Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
That's perfect.
Thank you. Council President, Council.
Any other questions for our CFO? If not,
Thank you.
Administrator Hartwick, you have anything you want to add?
No, thank you, Madam President.
Okay, we're gonna move to our county liaison, Mr. Bledsoe.
Madam President. I have a few updates from the county. Just giving an update in regards to the parking situation. We're still collaborating and working with the Department of Public Works. We were able to obtain a copy of the ordinance that was passed by council. So now our county councilman Coley's reached out to our offices about potentially hosting events in Orange Park. I actually referred to her to connect with the permits person, Jackie Matthews, and to officially go through the channels of the city to host something officially on the record in Monty Irving Park. Additionally, we have a number of events that we're hosting throughout the month of May, all the way up until June. We are hosting the dedication for the Sheriff Armando and Mary Fontour Community Center on May 10th. May 15th, we're hosting a dedication for a bus for the Honorable Lieutenant Governor Sheila Oliver. On May 18th, we're hosting a computer and electronic recycle drive. Additionally, on May 21st, we're hosting a dedication of the Bilal Beasley Community Center in Irvington Park. Additionally, on May 22nd, we'll be hosting a fishing derby in Monty Irving Park in Orange. But the fishing derby will go on from May 21st to June 1st of this year. Additionally, last but not least, on June 1st, the county is hosting a paper shredding day. That's all that I have. It's an update.
Mr. Bledsoe, there's a couple of them. I'm looking for the date. The one for the computer.
The computer drive and the recycle day is May 18th.
May 18th for the computers. Any old computers that you have, you can tell them what location they're going to drop them off at, please.
Definitely. That location is at the Essex County Fleet Management Public Works at 99 West Branford Avenue, Cedar Grove, New Jersey.
Any questions from county? Yes.
Computers, monitors, printers, fax machines, scanners, those type of devices.
Any questions for our county liaison? Thank you so much. Did I miss anyone? Please move the agenda.
There are no communication and petitions at this time. Moving on to citizen comments. Please be advised that members of the public wishing to address the council on any subject shall be permitted to do so during this portion of the meeting by indicating a raised hand and activating their camera at this time. To allow maximum public involvement, each speaker will have 1 5-minute period to interact with the council and must provide his or her name and street address prior to beginning his or her remarks. Screen sharing or visual aids are not permitted. Members of the public are reminded to be courteous, mindful of other individuals' rights when speaking. Each person has a right to speak on any subject and is responsible for any abuse of that right. The city bears no liability for any comments made by any member of the public and reserves the right to remove any person engaging in obscene or disruptive conduct. The council will consider all comments and questions and will respond if and when appropriate, which may or may not and may not be during this meeting. Citizens?
Yes. I see Aisha Samuel.
Good evening, 401 Highland Terrace. Mays is not on the line today, so I did have a question about when Highland Terrace and Valley Road would get redone, because he had said last year that they would both get done sometime this year. So I was wondering if anybody else would be able to answer that. And he also has I wanted the status from him for the illegal dumping that I had reported to him, because nothing has been done about that. And spotted lanternfly season is going to start pretty soon. I haven't seen any in my yard, but I usually find them starting around the 15th of May and then going forward. And the recreation person, she didn't speak anything about the pool schedule this summer for swim lessons or anything about that. She just spoke about the seniors again. So are they planning on doing anything for kids this summer? Because I know she spoke about it like a couple weeks ago, and when I went online to check it out, there still wasn't anything there. Like when you click on the application, it says that it's not there. There's nothing there. So those are my questions.
Director Sykes, are you still there?
Council President,
Yes.
I know, as far as the pools, I know I saw Puglisi there today, which means that they are prepping and getting it all ready. I know last year, for the first time, I believe in history, we opened Memorial Weekend. So I would say that we'll probably get a blast out to let you know more about that. I know the first week or two, they usually let you swim without a badge. And I know that we're going to be doing some lessons because we have to make sure our brown and black babies know how to swim. So I will personally make sure that I get that over to you. But seeing Puglisi there today, let me know that they're on track to open up.
Thank you.
With regard to Highland and Valley, those are on the list to be completed this paving season.
Thank you. I kind of figured that it was, but he just didn't say anything, because I know I did get the email and the phone call about Essex, which is great because Essex is real. Essex really needs to be done just like Valley needs to be done.
And I will get back to you with an answer on the illegal dumping when I speak to Marty.
Okay, and I do have one more question about the tax collector. I still haven't seen an email from you guys that stated that you had sent the check to the people. Is there any updates on that?
We haven't gotten the check yet.
Okay, thank you. That's it. I'm done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have a good one, everyone.
You too. Ms. Howell? Ms. Howell?
Sorry. Good evening, everyone. Laura Howell for 83 Mountain View Avenue. I was wondering if the city plans to apply for a grant that President Biden has a commitment, or through the EPA plans to replace every lead pipe in the United States. So they're granting up to $123 million. And certainly Orange is due to replace their pipes, since our pipes have been here since the Civil War. So just curious, I know this is a Marty Mays question, but I can also address Chris Hardwick. If you're not aware of it, I'll be glad to share this information with you. But it was announced May 4th. So there's a commitment to replace all the lead pipes for safe cleaning water. And I certainly would like to benefit from that, as everyone else here would like to benefit from cleaning water, because I still get a brown ring around my toilet, have to use Clorox pills to keep my toilet clean, and I don't drink the water because of that. So my question is there a commitment to apply for this grant?
So we're waiting for the application details. However, we are expecting to apply for the grant and intending to apply for the grant. We've also identified an additional grant that we're applying for.
Okay, it would be nice to have clear drinking water.
Thank you, Ms. Howell.
You're welcome.
Veronica Scott?
Yes, good evening, everyone. So I just want to make a comment and give some shout outs. I think oftentimes we get on this. I'm sorry, Veronica Scott, 548 Argyle Avenue, Orange, New Jersey. So I just wanted to say really quickly, I wanted to make a comment and then just give a couple of shout outs. I think oftentimes when we get on the line, you guys feel a little bit attacked. So I just want to give some shout outs really quickly. Captain Vidiello, I just want to say, I want to give a shout out to, Chief Vidiello. I want to give a shout out to Captain Cummings for this past Saturday's Women Empowerment event that took place. It was amazing. The speakers were amazing. There were a lot of good tools and resources that came out of that event, which was actually a half-day event. Definitely would ask that it be done again in the future for more of a full-day event. The speakers were amazing, great takeaways, just an awesome overall event. So thank you for that. And please let Captain Cummings know how great that event was.
I will, thank you.
Absolutely. It was really great. I woke up that morning not feeling so great, but when I left there, I definitely felt better and lighter. So I think it's something that a lot of people could have attended and walked away with some great stuff. I could tell she was very passionate about it. The officers that were present were very passionate. Although they were in uniform, it was about them as women on that particular day and not so much about being an officer. So it was really amazing. So kudos to her. Also, I know Marty's not on the line. I wasn't at the last meeting, but I just definitely wanted to shout him out about volunteering, him and his team, for Earth Day and helping to plant the trees. Awesome job there. I did have some follow-up questions for him, but he's not here today. I did attend the event on Saturday at Ropes Park. That was awesome as well. Saw Marty on the grill. Great job. All the renovations that have taken place so far there were really good. So shout out for that. And I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Scott, and welcome to my ward. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Rachel Tennant.
Okay, Rachel Tennant, 461 Waverly Place. I hate to come on here and complain all the time, but several of us on Waverly Place tried to call, I don't know how many people, regarding a tree that's in the rear of 480 Conover Terrace. The tree is leaning onto Waverly Place, so it's in the back of 480 Conover. And several neighbors reported that it looked rotted, and they were scared that the tree would fall. We did not get any response. So I called PSC&G, and they came out because we're scared. If that tree goes down, it's taking our power lines, it's taking the cable, phone lines down with it. PSC&G came by and said that the power lines are not going through the tree, but it's communication lines. So another neighbor called Comcast. So we're waiting for Comcast. But I think if people call the city, at least someone should answer their phone and give us directions. We have to come up with a plan ourselves. And I think the city could do better. On another note, this might be for B.A. Hartwick. Can a city employee purchase real estate for personal use from a developer that's doing business in the city? That's one of my questions. And the other one, I'm sorry, I lost my note, so I'll leave it there.
Minister, I want to respond to any of your concerns.
Yeah, is that, even if it's not legal, is it ethical practice? And who would they have to report it to if they were to engage in such behavior?
It would depend upon the circumstances, and they would have to report any potential conflict or business dealings to the business administrator.
Okay.
And as it relates to the tree on Conover, our team did go out and look at it today. We're doing an evaluation. We also spoke to Comcast.
You did? Okay, thank you very much. But no one got back to us to let us know that happened.
I only found out about it today and sent the team out.
Okay, because we were calling yesterday, so maybe someone got in touch with someone today. Okay, going back to the real estate possible conflict. What would be considered a conflict? Could that employee still work closely with that developer?
Again, it depends upon the circumstances. I don't know the facts, and you're asking questions.
I'm just speaking in general. Like if I was an employee and I decide to purchase property from a developer, do I have to do any disclosures? Even though I'm still working closely with that developer, and the developer is working with the city. So would I have to, if I was the employee, would I have to come to you, fill out any kind of disclosure forms before I would? Thank you. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Tennant. Mr. Richard Martha.
Yes, good evening. Richard Martha, 740 McLaughlin Place. I'd like to talk about two issues of concern. The first one being the general tenor of the election cycle that we're in. We're getting a lot of mailings, we see a lot of things online. There's really a negative tenor to this particular campaign, which is very discouraging, I think, for future generations. I've even heard some of the council members talk about that they've noticed the same thing. So, but I would like to offer up a solution to the complaint, because there is actually a silver bullet to all of this, which has been highly researched by political scientists in this country and abroad, and that's ranked choice voting. There are two bills in the House right now, HR 4000 and HR 4464. I'm hoping some of the council members can take some notes of this, because I would love for you to look into it. You can also find lots of information on the topic at www.fairvote.org. It'll explain how it works, but just to summarize, basically all sports awards use a ranked choice voting system. Some municipalities in the country use that system. Actually, the primaries for the New York mayoral elections last year, I think it was last year, they used the ranked choice voting system during that primary. It's used for gubernatorial elections. There was a famous case in Alaska recently, Sarah Palin. who surprisingly was very encouraged by the process of a very positively run campaign through ranked choice voting, because what happens is people will have a first choice and they'll have a second choice and they'll have a third choice. So it discourages criticizing the candidate that's not your favorite. So again, fairvote.org, and look for bills HR 4000 and HR 4464. The other topic that I would love to talk about is permits. Now, I'm currently waiting for a zoning permit to arrive in the mail. I was told that it was mailed out last week. It hasn't arrived yet. In recent weeks, I've heard a lot of negative comments from contractors and from inspectors regarding Orange's zoning permitting process that really discouraged me. I've actually had a HVAC company that I contacted to replace my unit because my unit broke down in the attic. I'm up in the attic right now. It's very hot up here, so I need to get that replaced. Called a highly recommended company out of Fairlawn, and they told me straight up, we do not work with Orange. I repeat, we do not work with Orange. Today I had an inspector in my house who told me that Orange is a pain in the ass to deal with when it comes to permitting, right? Other towns, no problems. But when it comes to Orange, it seems to be a real problem. I'm relatively new to this process, but it surprised me a lot because it's discouraging. I want to be able to bid projects to multiple companies. But if companies are unwilling to come to Orange and perform work to improve our homes that we get taxed so highly on, it's a problem. We have to look into it. We have to get to the bottom of it, and we have to see how we can improve that process. So I don't know who can take that up, who needs to speak to who, but I think it's important for all of us, not just the citizens, but even the administrators and the council members. You know, we all need to work with contractors from time to time. Actually, I'm in a process right now to get my porch roof renewed, and my contractor told me, why don't you go get the permits? Because we don't want to deal with Orange.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Martyr. Our business administrator will have, I think that's Director Best call you tomorrow, right? Is that Director Best?
Yes, it's either Director Best or me. I have Mr. Martha's contact
So
information.
would you get in touch with him tomorrow, please? As the follow-up, Mr. Hartwack?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Haller?
Hi, good evening. I'm Melanie Hilaire. I'm at 472 Alden Street here in Orange. So I want to bring up a couple of things. I want to remind everyone that May is the National Mental Health Awareness Month. And most recently declared as a mental health month here in New Jersey by the governor. And I would encourage everyone on this call, especially elected officials, to read that proclamation from the governor, because it literally outlines the mental health crisis that we are having. And I'm curious to know, and I'm not sure who can answer this, but I would be interested in knowing how will the elected officials in this city work with the New Jersey Department of Children and Families, who are working to promote the awareness, a public awareness campaign, and how would they educate the public in regards to the ACE, which is the Adverse Childhood Experiences, to educate the public about what that exactly means. And I would encourage every single person to look that up and see what they are, because it is affecting our health long term. Also, I would like to know if there is in this, I'm not sure if this is for the community liaison, but I want to know if there's a community network association. I'm not sure if there's anything here in the city of Orange that the public or any community health organizations are working with the New Jersey Department of Children and Families. And I'm also interested to know if the police department is being trauma informed and how to interact in situations, tough situations, perhaps understanding the underlying issue about those tough situations that they have to deal with and how are they coping. Because again, mental health, it involves everyone. It affects everyone in different ways. I mean, I think it's time that we all get informed about that. And also, I just want to follow up with the questions that I asked last month about the parks in here on Alden Street. When do we get a response? Like as a public, just we bring our concerns. I send the questions to Marty. I have not received a response. So when do we get a response? Like when do we know what's going on? Thank you so much.
Okay, Mr. DiFilippo, are you still there?
Yes, Council President. There was an autism walk just last week alone that the health department helped sponsor in Orange Park. This lady has been doing the program for the last 3 years.
So you guys are working with the mental health, right?
We have sponsored a couple of programs, and also we're trying to put some programs together now with our interns that we have.
Okay.
Council
Police
President.
Chief, you want to respond to what's happening in the police department as relates to your officers being trained on the sensitivity of mental health?
Absolutely, and it's very important that we know how to deal with the individuals that have that, adversity against them. We currently are participating in a program called the RIDE program, and we ride 4 to 5 days a week with a mental health specialist, and they're called the critical incident training that our officers have to go to, and they're specifically trained in how to deal with people with emotional issues, as long as people that are, hearing impaired. So yes, every opportunity we can, we train our personnel in that. It's very important. We also actually just applied for 2 grants for mental health and the training of our officers, and maybe even getting a part-time mental health evaluator within the building. So yeah, we're on it, and we agree with you. It's very, very important. Whatever we can do to have our officers trained to the max and helping any type of disabled citizen, the Orange Police Department goes 110% in, and we will continue to do so.
Council President,
Yes, Councilwoman Simmons Johnson.
just want to be really, really clear so we don't offend anyone that autism is not mental health. I don't want to put it in that category. The autism walk is in a separate category. I just want to make sure that we're talking about mental health because we don't want to offend anyone, making them think that autism is a mental. So I think you're saying that organization also does other things. Is that what I'm hearing? I just want to make sure because I'm getting text messages that autism, and I want to make sure that we're clear that we're not. I know the police part. I heard you say the training because that's definitely important with all the cases that we're hearing about with officers and people dealing with mental health. So I just wanted to clarify that a little bit.
Councilwoman, also, I'm glad you brought that up with the autism. We also participated in the Special Olympics, and when we were there was an organization, I believe it's called Angelina's Angels, Ariana's Angels, and they gave the whole department placards on how to deal with children or individuals with autism. And what we did is we're going to put it on our website. We gave it out to all our officers, and we'll continue to deal with that also because they're great causes.
Councilwoman, you're correct. That was the thing. That was an autism walk 2 weeks ago. But we also got a grant for mental health also that we're working hand in hand with.
And I think our chief has an officer that is specially trained in mental health that goes along with that. Okay, thank you, Ms. Hilaire. Ms. Campbell? Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Hilaire, the questions that you had on College Park, because I'm very involved in that right there, because there's some issues over there I am addressing. Could you send those to me via email, please? All right, Ms. Campbell?
Hi.
Hold on,
Good
can you
evening.
send them to me via email, Ms. Hilaire?
Yes, I will.
All right, thank you. Ms. Campbell?
Yes, hi, good evening. Couple of things. I also wanted to kind of loop back to Chief Vinny about
Your name
the
and
police.
address for the record,
Oh,
please. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry.
sorry, that's okay. I'm Quayle Campbell, 55 Randolph Place. Yeah, so Chief Vinny, we've seen a significant improvement in police cars not operating in Metcalf Park. And so we thank you for listening to us and making some changes in this regard. Just today, we saw officers pull over cars along Valley, and so they're not using the park to race out and stop vehicles. So thank you for getting that message to your staff. The one question I do have though, is there a way that we could think about removing the black tinted windows from police vehicles? I think this is very intimidating and it does create a sense of us not getting to know our officers. And if we are truly a community, it's nice to be able, for residents, for kids to be able to see and identify who's in these cars. Today I attempted to wave and say hi, but I couldn't even see the person. It just felt very awkward. So I don't know if that's something that could be a conversation. And I don't know, who makes those decisions, but I'm just putting that out there, to be discussed. I'm curious about what happens when these calls are hacked and people come on and they spew all types of derogatory terms towards a city that is predominantly people of Black and Brown backgrounds. What happens afterwards? We had it happen twice. Nobody said anything. We went away, and it's sort of just like, I don't know. I don't know what happens. I don't know what you guys do on the city end. I don't know if there's investigations. I don't know if it's, brought up to a higher level. I don't know what security measures are put in place so it doesn't happen again. It'd be nice for us to understand the protocol and process when something like that happens. Additionally, I have residents, neighbors, elderly neighbors that are being targeted through internet services by individuals. And they called the police department, they said, and they weren't able to help them. And so I'm curious as to what the protocol is in that situation. I mean, I think it's known nationally that communities of colors are targeted for these types of situations. So I don't know if that's not a discussion that is happening at the municipal level or whether it's happening on either county or state. So it'd be nice to know a little bit more about that. So I have two more things. I have a minute and 30 seconds. In terms of the budget process, I heard Summers Johnson ask earlier about the ordinance that's up about the cap. So as a resident, I like to understand the budget process more. I read these ordinances and I walk away with a lot of questions, and then I ask council members questions, and the answers are subpar. So how, as a resident, how can I understand the budget process further? So I'll leave that question for whoever can respond to it. And lastly, are there any openings on the many committees, commissions, and boards that exist? I think what would be nice, especially as we approach election year, I've been thinking about this, is if the same people that you see have consistently come on these calls for the past year, these people are participating. And I think we need to start to put some of these individuals on these committees, commissions, boards that exist, right? Because we have a lot of people who are on these boards or whatever that aren't participating. So I think in order to kind of level the playing field here, instead of us, being combative towards each other and thinking that we're not working for the same goals, how about we put some of these same individuals that are showing up twice a month, right? Put them on some of these committees, boards, commissions. And that is it, down to the second. Wow.
Thank you. Chief Video, you want to respond to any of her?
Sure. Personally, what happened on these meetings is disgusting. It's despicable. And what we do on our end is immediately we do an incident report of what happened on that night. We do an incident report, give it to the investigative squad. We pull the bias crimes of the state and the prosecutor's office, and we start an investigation on that, which is pending. But it's just so hard with these IP addresses. It's just very hard to track down. But no, we take this real serious. We don't forget about it. We push and push and push, because I got to tell you, it's disgusting, and I don't like it one bit. Concerning the windows, I know this came up before under New Jersey NJA 3472. Every vehicle purchased after 2014 are required to have tinted windows if it's a marked emergency police vehicle. And that came about after an incident in New York where 2 New York cops were killed, and they enacted this, and also to protect the privacy of the individuals that may or may arrested, or witnesses that we have in the back, and to hide some of our technology that we have within the vehicle. So that's not on individual police departments from the state.
The elderly being targeted, when they call into the dispatcher, those calls are recorded, right?
Yes, and Ms. Campbell, if there's ever something where they don't believe that they're getting service, the elderly, please give me a call. I'll make sure that's handled properly and that doesn't happen again.
Okay.
Thank and also, you. Yeah, I have a resident. They told her they couldn't file a report.
Okay. Do you have any information concerning her or what has happened? Because you could get a hold of me.
Yeah. And I'll tell her. I'll give her your number.
And I also want to thank you for the kudos about the cars. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Campbell. Ms. Young?
Hello, good evening. I hope it's okay that I'm off camera. I'm actually getting my daughter back at the moment. I hope that's okay. This is Leonor Young. My address is 678 Haxton Avenue. And I just wanted to actually follow up on the question that Councilwoman Summer Johnson asked the CFO regarding the cap. I wanted to know a little bit more about the cap. So with this cap, does that mean that we have to raise more revenue or increase taxes, for example, to supplement the increase in the cap? And then I understand that if there's a surplus, then that will be maintained as a reserve for the subsequent year. And does that mean that in the subsequent year, the cap goes back down? Those are my questions.
Is that the only questions you have tonight?
That is my only question.
Okay. I see it on Mr.
Good evening. Yes, Mrs. Young. So to answer your question, the cap starts off at 2.5% across all municipalities. Each municipality then can present an ordinance to increase the cap by 1%. You nail the cap bank. If you don't use it, you can save it or bank it. As far as the budget, it has to be a balanced budget. Revenues and expenditures have to meet. So whether you're utilizing more surplus, you're increasing certain line items for the anticipated revenue, that increase in expenditures or appropriations will have to be met with the increase in revenues. I hope that explains everything that you said.
Sorry, yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Williamson? I'm in a meeting.
Yes. Hi, my name is Sheree Williamson, and I'm at 447 Alden Street. I just want to address, I don't have a question, but I just want to address back to what Alili says, my neighbor, about mental health. And I'm not sure that I'm not sure if you guys have to understand what mental health is. Like Jamie Summers said, autism is not a mental health issue. And I keep hearing this reoccurring statement, even on the previous meeting about mental health being associated with autism and also drug addicts. I have a teenage daughter and a teenage stepdaughter that have mental health issues. That's depression, suicidal thoughts. So when she's asking about mental health, about how you're dressing, we have a city full of teenagers that are going through a lot of mental health issues, things that are going on at home, minor traumas that can lead to depression. So when she's asking about mental health and how the city's addressing, if you're working with New Jersey Family, with the state on the mental health, I don't want to assume, but I'm sure that's what she means. I work with children for a living. I have children that are as young as 7 years old that suffers from depression. And that's what she's talking about when it comes to mental health and how you guys are addressing the community. We have elderly people that have mental health. We have people in my age group and generation that have mental health issues. And again, that goes back to depression, struggling with traumas and how to address it. Is there any services in this community that's provided for people who are going through those issues? People are going through issues with their families, whether it's a death in the family. So that's mental health issues, just to be clear. That's just my statement. I'm not asking a question. I just wanted to clear that up.
Thank you. We'll do a follow-up with our health department. By the next meeting, we should have an answer.
Council President?
Yes, Councilwoman Hilbert.
I just wanted to respond to it in a positive way. I myself, I do have experience in the mental health field. And what I will say is we could have more programs in-house. We could be doing a whole lot more in that direction. But what I have witnessed, and I will say this about one of the nurses that they have is Nurse Romaine. She has worked with some of the seniors who have experienced maybe loss or depression. Just the sad thing is we haven't really expanded her efforts or her reach to the majority of the senior population. But the to address the depression and mental health concerns and awareness with people in our age group or the youth, there still is room for improvement. But I did want to give Nurse Romaine a shout out because I did learn of her services recently, and I know the seniors, they could definitely use more support outside of their senior apartments. That is all, Council President.
Ms. Romaine is officially retired, and she's doing it as on a volunteer effort with our health department. So if we call her, she will come out and do it. But she has some restrictions as to how far she can go as far as documentation. We had that conversation this week because she's helping a couple of my seniors at my senior building on High Street. But she's willing and able, but I guess we have to talk to Benny about how far she can go with it. And what she does is take one of the nurses from the health department with her when she go out on a visit. But she's doing that on a volunteer basis because she's concerned. And she did explain to me that she has restrictions on some things she can do and cannot do. So, but we'll talk to our health, Olivia, how better we can use her. And I don't know if she really wants to really going back to the profession. But if you call her and you need her, she'll be there. Thank you. Ms. Ward?
That was Joyce. But I just wanted to say that Essex County have a Essex County Mental Health Board that have a collaboration with all the mental health agencies within Essex County. So
But that's one you're gonna invite to the next meeting, right?
yes.
Okay. So we're gonna have a presentation at the next meeting on our matters for discussion. All right. It's number Zanasha Ward. I'm sorry, Ms. Ward. Mr. Ortega, weren't you next? Mr. Ortega?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
My apologies. My cat stepped on the keyboard and took me all out of the system. So I don't want to, if Ms. Ward would like to go first, I defer to her.
Ms. Ward?
No, you can continue.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, Council President. Manny Ortega, 152 Haywood Avenue here in Orange. I just wanted to briefly discuss, because we are coming out of Autism Awareness Month, and I do have several family members. I am extensively connected to the autistic community on the spectrum. We did participate in the walk continuously throughout the years, and thank you to India for having this all about the spectrum here in Orange so direly. I wanted to bring to the attention of everyone here on the call that after the autism walk, the plan was to come to our home here in Haywood Avenue, which we never do, as a safe space for the autistic families and their children to come have a little cookout. But we could not do that because the levels of the noise, the nuisance on a system that's made for a concert, and I know that because I have concert equipment, and I've gone toe to toe to see what kind of levels I need to use on concert stadium equipment that I have to combat the noise that goes on. And I have to raise it at levels that are deafening to dampen the sound coming to combat it. So I just want for y'all to be aware, because I'm surprised no one has spoken on this. We did plan to have a gathering for the families here. It was canceled. We could not possibly subject the children and the families to that kind of it actually went on for about 8 hours. Started in the morning, it didn't end until probably 10 o'clock at night. The block captain, neighborhood association block captain, did call the police a couple times. They did come out. We definitely received no relief. The people actually they act like the police have no authority. This has been going on for a while now, and it's documented. The block captain, if they're present, they can speak on it themselves. They're the ones that call to have it handled. For the health officer, we were actually looking at the National Library of Medicine. We were referred to the National Library of Medicine, and we were really alarmed at the effects of this nuisance, this noise, this targeted noise on our families. We actually have autistic signs here on the block because of our families and because of our visiting families as well. Children in these environments, it leads them to stress, misbehavior, decreased learning, decreased reading comprehension, this depression, and we're in Mental Health Awareness Month. And you can imagine if these children are experiencing this, and you all actually said on the last call, the children are watching. And the children are watching and they're feeling like they don't deserve the same quality of life. They're not equal to whoever's disrupting, that they can't even have a day of peace for these families that we tried to have, to acknowledge them, to make them feel that they belong. Any autistic families on this call with your children, if they're listening, you are valued, you are loved, you belong. I'm sorry we had to cancel the event. We've been trying to rectify this for a very, very long time. Mr. DiFilippo, if we could have that, the nurse that volunteers for your department come to the block, because we also have senior citizens that have been greatly impacted by this. We would like for them to be able to express themselves as well, because they do deserve that. As the elders of the community, they do deserve to be heard and respected and have just as much quality of life and peace in their own home for their own children as well. I just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention. Hopefully we can work towards a resolution for that that we've been trying to rectify for a very long time now. And I thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
Thank you. I just want to note that Councilwoman Wooten joined us at 8:19. Mr. Eagle?
You still have to do, Zanasha Ward. For some reason, okay.
I don't see her anymore. She's still
Yes, she
there.
is.
Zanasha Ward? Ms. Ward?
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Good evening, everybody. Zanasha Ward, 743 Haxton Avenue. I appreciate everyone's time today. I just wanted to follow up on a few things that I think I've always kind of spoken about and that I'm just looking forward to some reply on. First, I want to say regarding the cops, I guess I hear both sides of what's being said about the tinted windows and such, but I will tell you that any interaction that I've always had with police and fire in Orange, I'll say it, and I say it, often, that they are really, really great. They're very polite. They're always, well-mannered, and I find them quite approachable, especially in front of the schools. So I do have to say kudos for that. I do have a question for Marty Mays regarding the trees and kind of a replanting of trees, and also, to not have any hot island or hot, spots. When will we be able to get trees? When will residents be able to start requiring and asking about trees? I know we received a grant to allow the purchasing of trees. If you could just get back to me with that. Also, I'd like to know about the repaving schedule. Are we back on? I see some of our neighbors in East Orange repaving and doing curb cuts and making their sidewalks ADA compliant. And what I don't see is the street that I live on that was on the repaving schedule that had fallen off, came back. I see half of Axton was done with, going toward Tremont, but my street hasn't been done for over 35 years. So I just would like to know the new repaving schedule, and when will that be available to residents? Also, I have a question. I'm not sure if it's for Mr. Hartwick or if it's for the community organizer, but I wanted to know about the summer swimming pool schedule. Are the times going to be adjusted to kind of have an earlier time when it comes to family swim? I did bring this up earlier, saying that 12 o'clock is like the heat of the day, and when we're thinking about either kids and or anyone who's older, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, opening up pool time to 7 o'clock. That's like the heat of the day. And I think that there should be some type of family swim time, 8, 9 o'clock, or 10 o'clock, something where it's cooler. I do have 3 kids, and if I'd like to take them to the pool, I'd like to be able to leave before 1 o'clock, when, let's say, a lot of teenagers might be coming. It would probably be time for me to wrap up. So those are just my topics that I wanted to talk about. Thank you guys for your time, and thank you for the citizens who's taken their time to be well informed. So I appreciate that.
Ms. Ward, we wrote your questions down. Mr. Mays is not on tonight, and I'm quite sure our business administrator, Chris Hartwick, has taken your questions, and he will respond to you on those questions. And our Councilwoman Summers Johnson will address the swimming pool situation with Director Sites and get back to you with that information, if you don't mind.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you for your time. Brent Eagle?
Hello, this is Carmen Engel.
I need,
I'm
okay,
at I'm at 174 Haywood Avenue.
okay.
I have some questions directed at Chief Vitello. If you could please perhaps impart some information to me. It is in regards to decibel readers. Captain Cummings had once before on a previous council meeting indicated that decibel readers were purchased and that officers were trained. Can you tell me how many decibel readers were purchased? I know it was maybe 2 or 3. Is that correct?
No, they were never purchased. There was a problem with the company and the order. However, we did send 6 cops for certification because whenever we do get a device like that, our cops have to be certified on the use of it. So it's funny because we had them for like a year and a half now, 2 years, and we have to send them back for recertification in June again. 6 officers. However, I'm going to see what I can do about getting these decibel readers ASAP because I know the summer's coming and we already have the noise violations in our summer plan, the enforcement. So
I appreciate you, clarifying that for me after I received that information from Captain Cummings. Also, does the City of Orange have a noise control officer? Is there someone in that position currently?
well, it's not noise control. What they're trained in the use of the decibel reader and they're trained in the law and the ordinance, and they can train the other officers on that. So it's a trainer.
Okay.
So yes, we have 6 of them.
Do you have any ETA on the turnaround or return or calibration of those decibel readers?
I'm actually going to put in from our forestry funds. So I just have to write a quick a need for them to get the money and as soon as possible. I just got a quote yesterday. How much was it? Yeah, I got a quote yesterday, so I'm just going to put them in a quote. I want to get 2 or 3 of them because we do have 6 operators, and I'll get them out as soon as possible. And if you want to take my information later, you could always give me a call the department, and I will give you some details on when it's going to happen.
All right. Also, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that because I'm sure you've heard repeatedly in your desk, the folks on the desk, they get calls from us frequently when the weather is pleasantly warm. The other question I have, this circles back to what Mr. Ortega was reporting about a rather recent noise complaint. I was the other person that was calling a few times, and the officers were kind enough to come out. And we had discussion. They resolved it the first time. The second time we had to call, not more than an hour after they'd left, the noise resumed. The second time the officers came out, I had a conversation with them, and they indicated to me that they're the copy of the noise ordinance that was passed by the council. They have a copy of it, and they believe that the copy that they have indicates that enforcement of the noise ordinance is not really in effect until 10 p.m. Now, that is contrary to the noise ordinance that the council approved and made available to the public. And the officer said, I could be incorrect, but I will double check. The third time calling, and the sun had gone down by then, and it was good in past 10:30 p.m. And I asked the desk officer specifically about the noise ordinance. Is it only enforceable after 10 p.m.? And she says, I think so, but I'm not positive. She put me on hold, spoke with the lieutenant, I guess, who she reports to on duty at that time. And the lieutenant confirmed that enforcement isn't until 10 p.m. Is that correct? Because I want to know if the ordinance that was approved is the same one that
Well, the decibel limit is after 10, but it's also discretionary before 10. It's the matter. I tell you, it's really tough. It really is with these noise complaints. You know, we want to do the right thing by everybody when it comes to this situation, but definitely before 10, it's discretionary. But after 10, that's when the meter kicks in, and that's definite. But it's kind of, getting a little disturbed that these officers don't really.
Recording stop. Recording in progress.
I'm sorry, I was cut off. Did you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I'm going to make sure this goes department-wide, the ordinance, and the interpretation of it, and make sure everyone in my department knows on how we're going to handle the situation.
Listen, can you hear? Listen.
Hello?
Keep going, we can hear you.
Yeah, it keeps going on and off. But that's all I have. And man, if you want to take my number down, you're more than welcome. And if you have any of these issues, you can always call me, and I'll help to rectify them.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I thought I was speaking.
Hold on a second, Benny. I'm going to ask the clerk's office, Trish, Miss Lanier, that in the morning you pull the noise ordinance and get it over to the police department and make sure they have the most current copy so they can give it to their officers. They have an area where they post everything that the officers can read. Am I right, Benny?
No, I have it. I have it. I just want to make sure they're reading it properly and they're interpreting it properly. We have a system called Power DMS where every officer has to sign for something that we give them electronically. So I want to make sure they have it, and I want to make sure I have guys going into their roll calls and also teaching them in that manner.
I think the question she had, and she can correct me if I'm wrong. Noise ordinance kicks in at 10 o'clock. I don't know where the discretionary piece came from.
Well, if it's loud and the cop can hear it before 10 o'clock and, it is causing some inconvenience, annoyance, or alarm to the community, then yes, we can tell them to shut it down.
But you can't give them a summons.
It's discretionary. Yes, we can.
Okay. All right.
Council President?
Yes, Ms. Hibbert.
I have a question. So, this has been going on for quite some time, and I actually asked some questions about the equipment, the decibel readers, and I also asked a question in the past about why can we not make this a quiet zone and put up the signs? And the response that I was getting was that it was being investigated and there were some issues and that the police department had to finalize their investigation. So is that still the case? Or is it safe to say that this block, this street can move forward with petitioning for a quiet zone designation?
Ms. Hibbert, that does not come through the police. That is legislation. Some legislation has to be passed before you can make a quiet zone. So that's up to the council. Somebody draft the legislation and see if it goes through. But also it has to be in collaboration with what's on the state statute. We have to make sure we abide by the state. So that is not through the police department. That's through legislation.
I think you missed what I was saying. So I asked the administration, and I was told that there was something going on that street in which they were postponing addressing it or moving forward because there were possible investigations happening on that street. So now that all of this is resolved, is it safe to say that yes, we can move forward with assisting those residents to get a permit to designate it as a quiet zone, because it does fall within the state statute, being that it is so close to the VA hospital and it's close to a county road?
I'm going to ask that our city attorney take that as an initiative, and our legislature research officer. Can you guys Can you guys research that and give us an opinion on how that could go forward or how we should move that forward?
No problem.
Yes,
Alright.
and if
I'm gonna
possible, could
start-
you please CC Councilwoman Hilbert? Because the residents want to know.
All right, our legislative research officer and our deputy city attorney will work out the details and get back to us on that, so we can see how we can move that forward. Bottom line is we still have to do legislation. Okay. Ms. Eagle, are you finished?
Right now.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. I don't see any more hands raised. Could we move the agenda?
Are there any council comments? Because that's where we at now.
Close citizens' comments.
Oh, is there a motion to close citizen comments?
Motion to close, Summers Johnson.
Second.
Second, Montague.
There's a resident's hand up.
Hey, man.
Council President.
Holloway.
I'm sorry. Before Ms. Holloway speak, can you take back your motions?
Take back the motion, Summers Johnson.
Well, did Montague rescind his motion?
Okay, motion rescinded. Go ahead, Council President.
Ms. Holloway, can you unmute? Lucella Holloway? We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
You're on mute.
You're on mute.
Okay, I finally found it. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, Council President.
Okay.
My name is Rosella Holloway, 76 Luddington Road, West Orange. I do have several properties in the city of Orange, but I'm on tonight because I am the caretaker for my sister who lives at 274 Cleveland Street in Orange, New Jersey, first floor. Council President, I came on tonight to find out from one of the council members. I don't want to accuse anyone, but my sister had a situation, and I'm speaking as her caretaker, her sister as well, and she has cochlear implants, so it's hard for her to communicate via Zoom. Someone came to her home today, and it was a woman and two men, and they were talking to her regarding the election. The literature she gave me when I got to her home, she was so upset because the person was very condescending when speaking to her, kept telling her to come outside. When she answered, when her doorbell rang, she came to the window. She didn't feel comfortable coming outside because she didn't know the individual. And it was Councilwoman, I hope I'm not saying her name wrong, Councilwoman Hibbert. That's the literature that I retrieved from her, and I got it here with me. That's the literature that was left for her. I'm not sure if it was the councilwoman herself. My sister said that she believed it was the councilwoman, but I'm not sure. I didn't see her, but the literature was left. And I just wanted to ask if the people that are running for office go to the door of a resident, and if they do not want to come outside, again, she's a senior citizen, she lives alone, and she didn't feel comfortable coming outside. And I don't know if it was the councilwoman or someone representing her representing her campaign committee, but the person was very rude and very nasty and insisted again that she come outside, and the person then proceeded to say to her, well, you're speaking through a window and you don't seem to hear me or understand. I took that very personal, and I was very, very upset. And I went, when my sister called me and told me about the incident, I went to her home immediately, and I went block by block trying to find the individuals because I was very angry, to the point where I felt it was harassment because they came last week and she didn't open her door, and they came back again this week. And I was going to take her to the police department to file harassment charges. So I want to ask the council as a whole, who's ever running, they should respect people and their wishes. If a senior does not want to come outside and speak to that individual, she should not be made to feel guilty or harassed to do so. So I would like to ask the councilwoman, was she on Cleveland Street today? Because I did stop by her headquarters, and the person said she wasn't there. I would have spoke to her privately. But now that I'm on, I would like to ask her, did she go to Cleveland Street 274 today with campaign literature, speaking with the residents?
Yes.
Council President.
Yes, Councilwoman Hibbert. You muted. You muted.
Yes, I don't know how I got muted. Yes, I will address Ms. Holloway directly. Okay, Ms. Holloway, I am Councilwoman Quantavia Hilbert. I understand your frustration, but I'm sorry to let you know that nobody was in Cleveland today. No one was campaigning today. And if you stop by my office today, I've been here all day. So if they told you that I was not available, it's because I've been on meetings all day. But if you like, we can have another conversation. If you are free, you can come back to the office tomorrow. I'm still in my office. I've been here all day. No one was campaigning there today. There was some literature dropped a couple of days back, but no one told anybody to come out their house. My team is very professional. And unfortunately, this is not the correct platform to talk about it because it's regarding an election, and this is a council meeting. So I will give you my phone number, and you already have my address, but I will give you my phone number so we can follow up with this off-site. Because again, we are very professional. We do not intimidate or harass anyone. We're all friendly, and we will definitely have a conversation offline if you like. But I just don't agree with that because no campaigning was done today. So I'm just going to give you my number. It is 862-520-7919. And then you can give me a call and we can talk about this because I completely disagree. And we're not that desperate for an election. We would never disrespect the senior. So please give me a call.
I will, but someone was there today, and they did drop literature there today.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No one was there today.
By the way, call her tomorrow, and
I will.
Yes, please just call me. But no one was there today.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. There are no more hands. Please move the agenda.
Motion to close citizens' comments, Summers Johnson.
Second, Montague.
All in favor? Any opposed? No. Council comments?
Okay, we're gonna start with Mr. Ross.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. Since our last council meeting, I just want to talk about some of the good things that I noticed in the city of Orange. South Essex Street has been repaved. And if any of you guys know, that was one of the worst streets in the city of Orange. But I rode up there yesterday, and it's smooth. So thank you to the city for that. Also, I've been by the parks, Ropes and Colgate Park. Okay, they are being refurbished. They look great. They're not totally done, but I'm sure they will be done by the start of the summer. But they got 2 new courts on Colgate Park, and Ropes has been completely done. And anybody there that was there this weekend, I'm sure you had a nice time and you saw the good work that's being done at Ropes Park. I also was at a tree event, a cherry blossom event that they had at Central Field Park, and happened to go into the field house, and there was a bunch of girls there, 20 of them, and they was a girls' flag football team, and I have never seen that in the city of Orange. These girls was all happy. They was on the football team. They was getting ready for their first game the next day, and it just touched my heart. That we have girls that want to play football. When you think about football, you think about guys. But these girls was ready, able, and happy to do it. I think they had their first game. I think they didn't win, but the whole point is that they were out there. They participated, and it's a great thing. And I just think any and all activities that we can get our kids involved in is a great thing. And I just want to talk about a little bit about with Reginald Bledsoe talked about the fishing derby at Orange Park. This is for children 15 years of age and younger. And you got to bring your own fishing rod. Is that correct, Reginald? Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to bring that up. And I've been to that before, and it's a great event, and the kids are happy. Sometimes it's their first experience in doing fishing, so bring your kids out. They'll have a great time. Prizes will be given out, and they'll just have a great time. Another thing I just want to talk about real quickly is I got a flyer about for veterans. There's got to be a food pantry at the VA hospital for veterans, okay? And it's every 4th Monday of the month. And so all veterans come out, bring a bag, and you'll get all the food that you need. So I just want to say again that this city is on the move. We're doing good things. So continue to let us know what you need, what you want, and we're here to help out the best that we can. And I want to say happy Mother's Day to all you mothers on Monday. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Councilman Montague?
Good evening, everyone. Before I start anything, I would like to thank everyone, my council colleagues, the administration, citizens, for sending out well wishes over the past few weeks. My father has been severely ill in St. Barnabas. He's still, he's stable, but I really appreciate it. Sometimes when things happen to your family, things like politics and other things, it escapes. I am focused, but I am going through this particular situation as we speak. I want to speak about today. I went to the Mother's Day banquet at Bella Italia, and that was a wonderful event. A lot of giveaways. The mothers were so proud to be there. It was a great time. So, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out here. Appreciate your mother. I think Ron said it today. Hug your mother. Appreciate your mothers. You know, I don't have one. And physically, but spiritually, I do have. My mother passed away in 2015. But happy Mother's Day to everyone. And I defer to my council colleagues. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Hilbert?
Thank you, Council President. I'll be brief. I want to say thank you to the Friends of Metcalf and everyone who came out to volunteer for Earth Day. It was a wonderful experience. We got to plant some trees, and we really saw a major effort and collaboration from the community, a couple of fraternities and sororities. Thank you to DPW. It was a wonderful event, and I just want to congratulate all of our organizers, our residents who brought that event together, and it was a learning experience as well. I also want to say, oh, we didn't reset the timer. Okay. I also want to say that I did attend the funeral for Congressman Payne Jr. Again, I still extend a lot of love and prayers of comfort to all his friends and family and colleagues and all those who were influenced and supported by him. Congressman Payne Jr. was one of the first, I don't want to call him a politician, but he was one of the first public servants we had in the community that I actually volunteered for. So I'm just praying that the special election that's coming up for him, we're able to bring someone in who has the same love and commitment to our community for this district. And in closing, I just want to reiterate that we are that myself and my team and those that I work with are extremely professional. We're passionate and we're committed to this community. We serve everyone, Black, brown. We are very diverse. We're very inclusive. We understand the difference between mental health and developmental disabilities. We also look to bring more resources to our community. And there is always an opportunity to have a conversation when there is a disagreement or a misunderstanding. I really want to encourage people to always remember to have the conversation first. Don't accuse people, and don't put up a wall, because there could be opportunities where you could build a relationship or a partnership with people that you've never met before. And being a council member has been very rewarding, and I look to continue my career and my profession and my commitment to this community. And as young as I am, I'm still working on my personal development and working on building partnerships with other people. So again, I just want everybody to take that with them this evening. Be mindful of the people you have around you. Be mindful of what your goals are and what kind of personality or what kind of image you want to project to the community, because it's very important, and people would do anything to tarnish your reputation when it doesn't benefit them. So thank you so much. I can't wait to get to the budget season. I'll ask you a question about that later on, Council President. Thank you.
Councilwoman Summers Johnson?
Greetings, thank you. So yes, I first want to send my condolences out to Congressman Donald Payne Jr. I worked with his I don't know if it's the little sister, but I worked with his sister Wanda Payne in Newark Public Schools. And I remember after she passed, he never really, got over that. I can only imagine. So I am happy that he is out of pain, but sad he is not here with us. It was very tragic and sudden. Also, I have shared the backyard with Superior Court Judge Howard Fulilove Sr. Since I was 7 years old. Walking home from Haywood, we would cut through his house to get to my house. My sister babysat all of his sons. He was an awesome husband, awesome father, awesome grandfather. awesome neighbor. Our dogs, when I let mine out, he let his out. His jumped the fence. Mine ran for dear life. And I don't deal with death well. And the other day, we were in the backyard, and I let my dog out, and his kids were back there, and they had just come from the private viewing. So for me, that's when it really hit home that my neighbor that I've known all my life, that was the first judge I ever knew, and for him to be an African American judge and like a real person out in the community that you could touch and laugh and giggle with. Haywood Avenue lost a giant the other day. So I will send condolences to both families, the Fuliloves and the Payne family. This is Teacher Appreciation Week. Let's love on our teachers and educators. National Nurse Week, Asian American Pacific Islander. Like, we got a lot going on in May. I have to agree with Ms. Ward about the swimming. I grew up in aquatics. That's why I keep answering the aquatics questions. I worked for the city in the aquatics department from age 15 to age 41. So I can honestly say I understand why we need to make sure we have our lessons. I know that they normally have camps in the morning about 9 or 10, but it would be awesome to have one pool designated to maybe a 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. swim, something like that. But I'm always talking to the aquatics department. So I will definitely put that suggestion over there. I think that would be great, especially when kids are swimming with their families. It's actually a little easier on the lifeguards. So that was a very good suggestion. And Ms. Williamson, and I can't pronounce the resident that spoke before talking about the mental health. I know as a teacher, and I know in the school system, they have weekly social and emotional learning days where we try to address the SEL on the lower level. So I know that the city can definitely enhance that working with the school district, because it is real. I teach 8th grade. That is the grade where suicide is very high. It's a lot in the 8th grade. Miss Quelly Campbell, I can totally relate to her neighbor about elderly being targeted. I'm raising my parents, as I tell everyone, my mother knows better than to be on the phone with strangers. But I do recall her getting a call where someone was trying to get her to send money, saying that her grandson was in jail or something. And my mother actually was really sitting there having a conversation. It wasn't until she started talking a little too much. And I'm like, who are you talking to? So they're very strategic in how they get to our elderly. I know that when you try to buy gift cards in the local stores, they say to you, watch out for scams. So I know on that part, they're trying to do that. But my sister's mother-in-law, I mean, we caught her, I think maybe $8,000 in of scratching off and sending the credit card information over the phone because they promised her a Mercedes. I'm just giving examples. I know exactly what she's talking about. So we definitely need to help our older adults with that. I also liked what Ms. Campbell said about understanding the budget process. So definitely, I already texted the VA. He tried not to text me back because I know we're in a meeting. He's trying to be very studious. But I definitely want to sponsor understanding the budget for the residents. So like I said, it can be very clear for them and that they understand why things have to be done that way. Mother's Day is Sunday, and it's also my mother's 82nd birthday and my oldest son's my college son's birthday. So for all of the mothers and all of the people that have kids coming out of college, beating the odds, changing the look of education, I just want to say good job and thank you so much, Council President. Thank you.
Councilwoman Wooten?
Council President, I just want to say happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you. I want to thank the Board of Education, thank the City of Orange Township for all of the wonderful programs that went on this weekend, especially on Saturday. We had basketball. We had a great debate at the middle school. We honored some people at Hanover Manor. We had a wonderful, fantastic Mother's Day hat brunch at Forestry School. So many good things going on in the City of Orange Township. If you don't take part in these things. You really should. One thing that we had that I regret that I didn't get to stay for the full event was the women's empowerment seminar that we had at the police department. I would receive so many telephone calls thanking Captain Cummings and Lieutenant Jackson and Director Warren for putting on a fantastic event. So I'll just end with Happy Mother's Day to each and every one of you. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. I also want to wish all of the mothers and the fathers that's being mothers Happy Mother's Day. I think one of my greatest accomplishments in life was having kids. And I have two sons that I raised in the city of Orange who's doing very well. And I'm just so thankful that God allowed me to have children to raise them. And I am so happy on Mother's Day. My mother has passed and I miss her every day. So I just want to say love on your relatives, love on your parents, love on your mothers especially, because when mother is gone, you know mother is gone. So let's cherish the moments we have them. On Saturday, Mr. Bledsoe, I participated in a prayer walk. I went out there support from the Dominion Church on Main Street. They had over 200 women out there early in the morning praying. But the one thing I want to say to the county, we need to clean that park more. Too much garbage out there around the what they call those toilets and things that people just stacking garbage. So maybe you can suggest that on the weekend, maybe early Saturday morning, they have a cleaning crew to make sure that that park is clean, because when we have visitors, we want us to look pristine, so they don't go back and say. Usually when we used to have events out there, I would go out there myself and clean it with a garbage bag, me and my nephew, but I didn't realize it was that bad Saturday, or I probably would have been out there at 7, but I just want you to take that back to the county. But it was we had over 200 women. It was a great event. And I just want to say, I think for me that there's so much, many activities, and there was so many Saturdays. I think we need to collaborate more, pay more attention as to when we're scheduling things so that each person can attend the events and we don't have so much overlap. And I went to the Orange Educational Association fundraiser, and I just want to say to the city, please support the STEM school. They're always raising money for that school, and those students are doing very well. We have 3 students graduating this year with an associate's degree. Isn't that phenomenal? 3 students are coming out this year with an associate's degree, which is great. And that's kudos to the Orange School District and to Mr. Lee, whose vision was to start that STEM school, and he fought for it every step of the way. But it's finally paying off, and we're doing some good things in Orange. I also attended the Honorable Donna Payne's funeral. What a great send-off. I mean, they had nothing but accolades for him, and they talked about the way he dressed in his bow tie. And we in Orange had just built a great relationship with him, so we could go down and meet with him and talk about the things that we need. And the last thing I said to him, the last time I saw him, which was in March, we have to set up another meeting. He always would say, come on down, call Isabel and make an appointment, and just come on down. We'll sit around the table and talk about what Orange needs. And he's been very supportive. And I also want to address, like, our school districts there are paying special attention to mental health and the mental health of our students. In fact, Campus High School just opened a quiet room, which was funded by a football player, where the kids, when they get emotional, they're depressed, they can go up there, they get a counselor, our crisis counselor goes up there with them, they can read a book, they can sit down and just rest and relax for the day till they get themselves together, which I think is a great start towards addressing mental health in our school district. And I think that's about all I have. And everybody enjoyed their Mother's Day. Don't eat too much. And please move the agenda.
Council President, the county liaison has his hand up.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Bledsoe.
Just really quickly, can you give me is this Orange Park you was referencing?
Yeah, Monty Irvin, Orange Park.
Thank you. And additionally, I'll work with the clerk to get someone, Joseph Scarpelli, who is our mental health administrator, on to do a presentation for the next meeting.
Very good. We're always looking to collaborate with the county because you guys got money. We need to tap into it. That was a joke. Okay. Please move the agenda.
All right, ordinance is on second reading, public hearing, 24-2021. An ordinance to amend the city code of the city of Orange Township, chapter 4, entitled Administration of Government, article 2, entitled City Council, section 15, entitled City Clerk. It's been postponed since June 1st, 2021. Is there a motion?
Motion to continue to postpone.
Second, Summers Johnson.
Motion to continue to postpone by Council Member Easton, second by Council Member Summers Johnson. On that motion? Seeing none, roll call. Council Member Foley is absent. Council Member Hilbert?
Yes.
Council Member
Postponing. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Council Member Montague the third?
Yes.
Council Member Ross?
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council Member Wooten?
Yes.
And Council President Easton?
Yes.
Okay, so this item will remain postponed. 13-2024, an ordinance of the Municipal Council of the City of Orange Township, County of Essex, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 210 of the City of Orange Township Municipal Code entitled Development Regulations to review the definition of retail sales to include personal service establishments. This item was tabled from 4/16/2024. Is there a motion on the floor?
Motion to remain on the table.
Motion to remain tabled by Council Member Easton. Is there a second?
Second, Summers Johnson.
On that motion? Seeing none. Roll call. Council Member Coley is absent. Council Member Hilbert?
Yes.
Council Member Montague the third?
Yes.
Council Member Ross?
Yes.
Council Member Summers Johnson?
Yes.
Council Member Wooten?
Yes.
And Council President Easton?
Yes.
So this item will remain tabled. 14-2024, an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cat bank in accordance with NJSA 40A:4-45.1.4 for the calendar year 2024. Are there any citizens who wish to speak?
Motion to close citizens' comments.
Motion to close citizen comments by Council Member Summers Johnson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Second by Council Member Ross. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adopt on final.
Move. Wooten.
Motion by Council Member Wooten. Second.
Second, Ross.
Second by Council Member Ross. On the motion? Seeing none. Roll call. Councilmember Coley is absent. Councilmember. Councilmember Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third.
Yes.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten.
Yes.
And Council President Eason.
Yes.
Um, 16 2024, a capital ordinance amending capital ordinance number 58 2023, final adopted by the City Council of the City of Orange Township in the County of Essex, State of New Jersey, on October 3rd, 2023, to amend the title of the capital ordinance in section 1 and 3 therein. Are there any citizens who wish to speak?
Motion to close citizen comments.
Second.
Summers Johnson.
Motion to close by Councilmember Easton, second by Councilmember Summers Johnson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion to adopt on final?
Motion to adopt on final, Ross.
Second.
Second.
Motion to adopt on final by Councilmember Ross, second by Councilmember Montague the third. On the motion? Seeing none. Roll call. Councilmember Coley is absent. Councilmember Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third.
Yes.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten.
Yes.
Council President Eason.
Yes.
Motion passed. Ordinance on introduction, first reading. 21-2024, an ordinance to amend chapter 200-32 and chapter 200-38 of the City of Orange Township Code, Frankfort Street. Is there a motion to adopt on first?
Motion.
Second. Oh, okay.
Motion by Councilmember Eason, and I'm not quite sure if it was Hilbert or Montague.
Montague.
It was Hilbert. It was Hilbert.
Second by Councilmember Hilbert. On that motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley is absent. Councilmember Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third.
Yes.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten.
Yes.
Council President Eason.
Yes.
Motion passed. An ordinance to amend chapter 200-33 of the City of Orange Township Code. Is there a motion to adopt on first?
Motion to adopt on the first.
Second?
Second.
Wooten.
Motion to adopt on first by Councilmember Montague, third, second by Councilmember Ross. On the motion. Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley is absent. Councilmember Hilbert.
Yes.
Councilmember Montague third.
Yes.
Councilmember Ross.
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson.
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten.
Yes.
Council President Eason.
Yes.
The motion passed. Consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine by the City Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence of the agenda. Council members, are there any items that you wish to remove from the agenda?
Council President,
Yes, Councilwoman Wooten.
271.
That's the only one?
That's the only one. Thank you.
All right, 253, 2024. And 262, 2024, Ms. Lanier, you have an amendment to that, don't you?
Yeah, Miles gonna read it into the record.
So we'll take that off here so we can do that one separately also.
Okay. Any other items? So, the consent agenda consists of 247, 248, 249, 250, 251, 252, 254, 255, 256, 257, 258, 259, 260, 261, 263, 264, 265, 266, 267, 268, 269, 270, 272, 273, 274, and 275. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Point of order, point of order.
Did I miss something?
276.
Oh, you're right, it's on a different page. Okay, let me read it over again, just so we be clear. The consent agenda consists of 247, 248, 249, 250, 251, 252, 254, 255, 256, 257, 258, 259, 260, 261, 263, 264, 265, 266, 267, 268, 269, 270, 272, 273, 274, 275, and 276. Is there a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Motion to adopt, Summers Johnson.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Summers Johnson. Second by Councilmember Montague the third. On that motion, seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley is absent. Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague the third,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten,
Yes.
and Council President Eason.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passed. $253. 253-2024. A resolution honoring the life and service of Orange resident Honorable Harold Fulilove, Sr., sponsored by Councilmember Adrian Wooten and James Summers, and I'm assuming the whole list of the council. Is there a motion?
On the motion?
No motion was.
I have it on the motion. If Councilwoman Summers and Wooten does not, Councilman, I would like that to come from the whole council.
That's what I was gonna say.
Y'all knew
That's
him.
what I was gonna say. Yep, no problem.
He was a judge, and I sat in his court, and he scared the life out of me one day because he was very stern, and he said to me, and he said, "You can speak up. I'm not gonna bite you." I was like, "Oh God," but anyway. So I would like, because we all knew him and knew him well, and his son, I think that one should come from the whole council.
Definitely, Council President.
All right, thank you.
On the motion is coming from the council as a whole. Seeing none else on the motion, roll call. Councilmember Coley is absent.
You never got a motion.
We didn't?
No, you didn't. That's what I was saying. No one ever gave an actual motion.
All right, motion. I make a motion.
So the
Second.
motion,
Montague.
motion from Councilwoman Easton. And second from Councilmember Wooten.
Yes.
Anything else on the motion? Seeing none, roll call. Councilmember Coley is absent. Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten,
Yes.
and Council President Easton.
Yes.
Motion passed. Uh, 262-2024, I'll read what the title is, and Niall, you'll read in what.
No. It's not 262. It's 271, isn't it? Wait a minute, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm sorry.
Can I read the amended title into the record?
Yes.
Yeah, you can read the title, 262-2024.
Okay, how it should read. The amendment this is how it should read. A resolution authorizing a contract to purchase bulletproof vests with Atlantic Uniform Corporation, 468 Washington Avenue, Belleville, New Jersey, 07109, under state contract 17-Fleet 00772, in an amount not to exceed $83,149.82. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there a motion to move this as amended?
Move Wooten.
Second. Montague.
Motion to move as amended by Councilmember Wooten, second by Councilmember Montague III. On the motion,
Ms. Lil, just make sure the resolution itself, the title is changed at the top.
now you'll resubmit it, correct?
Yes, the business administrator's assistant did earlier.
Okay. Roll call. Councilmember Coley is absent. Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III,
Yes.
Councilmember Ross,
Yes.
Councilmember Summers Johnson,
Yes.
Councilmember Wooten,
Yes.
Council President Easton.
Yes.
Motion passed, moved as amended. I believe we're on 271-2024. A resolution approving the bill list for council meeting vote on May 7th, 2024, during the dated May 1st, 2024, and approving checks issued by the Finance Department in accordance with Ordinance 2-95. Grand total $14,575,985.57. Is there a motion to approve the bill list?
Motion.
There's second.
Second. Montague.
Motion by Councilmember Easton, second by Councilmember Montague III. On the motion,
Councilmember Wooten.
Oh no, I just needed to abstain. That's all.
All right.
so Councilmember Coley is absent. Councilmember Hilbert,
Yes.
Councilmember Montague III,
Yes.
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 Councilmember Wooten,
Abstain.
and Council President Easton.
Yes.
There's one absent, one abstained, and 5 yeas. The motion passed. Is that it?
We think so.
All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Council Member Montague III, second by Council Member Easton. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? This meeting is adjourned at 9:28 p.m. Have a great evening.
Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.